This
Sure,
conference will now be recorded.
sure, Anil. I'll just start. Hi, everyone. I hope I'm audible. If anyone can confirm.
Yes, yes, Namrata,
Okay,
you're audible.
sure. Um, Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar on enabling continuous quality assurance in your CI/CD pipeline, conducted by Stepin Forum in association with Avo Automation. You all are logged in as listen-only mode for 1 hour long webinar. You can communicate through the chat function. We will have 45 to 50 minutes of presentation, followed by 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A at the end. We thank you all for joining us. Presenters for today are Asha and Lavanya Prabhakaran. Firstly, introducing Asha, an IIM alumna with a dynamic career spanning 6 years in test automation, starting as a test automation specialist and culminating as a test automation architect. Asha is currently leveraging her expertise as a product specialist for Avo Automation, ensuring outcomes with a quality oriented approach. Asha actively contributes to customer success as an SME, analyzing requirements to mitigate impediments and ensure timely delivery. Additionally, she champions a smooth learning experience, curating technical content and providing efficient hands on training. With a firm belief in value addition for every effort expended, Asha emphasizes the importance of optimizing time and energy. She sees the brain as a system that requires continuous updating, advocating for the acquisition of new skills to navigate the ever changing landscape of the VUCA environment. Now, meet Lavanya Prabhakaran, a product solution specialist at Avo Automation, bringing a wealth of expertise in test automation across ERP systems like SAP, Oracle, Dynamics, and Salesforce. Leading a team of experts, Lavanya ensures a seamless customer journey. Her role involves overseeing test automation across different phases and teams, collaborating with stakeholders, and effectively analyzing customer requirements to provide optimal solutions through the Avo platform. Lavanya is dedicated to fostering team collaboration, offering active training and hands on support to tackle challenges. Lavanya firmly believes in embracing new challenges, showcasing her dedication as a quick learner and continually seeking experiences through new learnings. Join us in this webinar to glean insights from Asha's and Lavanya's wealth of experience and knowledge. I would like to give an overview of the webinar. So in this fast-paced world of software development, ensuring the highest levels of quality while maintaining rapid release cycles is a challenge faced by every organization. In this webinar on enabling continuous quality assurance in your CI/CD pipeline, you will discover how you can achieve a seamless integration of quality assurance practices within your DevOps pipeline. Join us in this webinar to leverage EverSure and unlock the secrets to achieving continuous quality assurance excellence within your CI/CD pipeline. Elevate your software development process, reduce defects, and enhance customer satisfaction while accelerating your time to market. Don't miss this opportunity to revolutionize your QA practices and gain a competitive edge in the software development landscape. Over to you, Asha and Lavanya.
Thank you, Namrata, for that welcome. Hello, everyone. Greetings. I'm just sharing my screen. Kindly please confirm if you can see it. All right.
Yes, Asha, we can see this.
Thank you for the confirmation, Anil. So, welcome everyone for this session on enabling continuous quality assurance in our CI/CD pipeline. So, before we get on to continuous quality assurance and all right, now let's go with the basics. The first one, what is quality assurance? As Namrata mentioned in the intro, so every software development or the product that we have, right? The quality is the most important thing. As we are, if we are to get on to a faster releases and faster development, quality is going to be our key feature or the key factors that we are going to bring. Any products differentiation that we are going to bring in, we are going to get in with our better qualities. Now, I'm sure most of us know what is quality assurance. I'll not spend more time on describing what it is. I'm just gonna give you guys a second to see. In the slide, if you see, there is zero defects. You must be like, oh, zero defects. But we all know that theoretically we can never have zero defects. There is no environment that is, defect free. Would that mean, oh, what I am, is my product not reliable? Is my product not ready for the market? Need not be. It also depends on how you are enabling your assurance, right? How are you, testing? How are you ensuring that your products, even though, let's say there is a defect in your system, what about that defect? Like, how are you handling let's a 1% of the defect or the 0.1% of the defect, though you have covered 99.1 percentage, right? So in this next 5 or 10 minutes, what I'm going to cover is I'm going to say about you guys about just how what is the quality assurance and how can you ensure that the continuous quality assurance is going to be covered. And then my colleague Lavanya is going to brief you about how that can be achieved by using our AO Assure products. Now, let's go further. Why it is required? Now, I talked about quality assurance, why it is needed because we want to bring our products early to our market. We also want to ensure that our markets, if we are bringing any product, it is not bug, filled. Like when somebody is testing or when somebody is using our product, when customer is using our product, their value is increased by bringing more better quality, right? Also, why we need to do this continuous integration and continuous deployment. So when you see that in a product, these two are the mostly talked words you will always see in everywhere. We'll go with CI/CD, we'll go with shift left, shift right. So those are the booming words, right? Why do you think there is so much importance? It's because when we are like we are going in a phase, I am sure, like the post pandemic, everything is early, everything is needed, right? So it's no longer automation is a choice. It's no longer oh, should I go with 100% automation, should I go with 1% automation, something like that, right? Nothing as such. Now everything is in need of the hour. We need to have automation. We need to go with I would say improving our quality of the product. With that mindset, this is another extra step, like ensuring that we are not doing everything when we need it, we are doing it continuously. When start from the product, you're enhancing your product, you're bringing some new changes to a product, and all along the line you're ensuring that your quality is maintained. That's what we call it as continuous quality assurance. It doesn't start with a point and it doesn't stop in a point, right? It's a cycle, I would say. It's a loop. For example, now here, why do we need to do it? Now CI/CD, we are going to talk about test automation. I'm sure everybody is aware, but still I'm just going to give a little bit of it. Now, in case if we are choosing any products, the important thing that you're going to look at it is how quickly can I start developing or automating my test suits, and how quickly can I maintain my already developed test suits. Because the first step for me is how quickly can I start, in the sense, okay, I have a set of expertise for me who can start. How quickly can I deliver my test automation? That's the first step. Now then the second step is, okay, I've already developed my first set of test suits. Now there is a maintenance to be done. Now how quickly can I maintain it? Now these two factors, you might ask why it is needed. If I am able to achieve a quicker delivery in either of these two or in both of these two, then I'll have a better quality that's coming in very early. And when there is a quality that is coming in early, that means I am able to not just deliver my development early, I'm able to deliver the entire quality part of it early, which means the entire product is coming in together earlier stage. So that's what we call it as everything is moving towards an early stage. So that's here, if you see, there's a continuous improvement. When there's a continuous improvement, you will have your user satisfaction, because we are ensuring that our quality is better. We are not gonna see, if you go and read any articles, there is nowhere written that CI/CD will give you 100% defect free environment. No, we are going to catch our defects very early. We are going to ensure that our defects are when it is, like, let's say for example, there's a defect that it doesn't handle mechanism already tagged for the defects. Like, and also there is when we see continuous integration and deployment, it's not just you're just checking your defects and just you're keeping it in the tracker, right? You're also coming up with a mechanism that will ensure that these defects are fixed and then they are deployed and then again they are tested. So that because of that, what we will do, we will have our early detection of the defects, we will have our quality improved, and we will also understand, okay, if we are catching any defects early, that means the risk for us, for our product, is going to be minimized. And as we all know, a defect caught early is money saved, like a cost savings, right? A defect, if you catch it in first sprint, very easier to fix than the defect that is caught in the production system. And of course, we will have a user satisfaction, because the customer who are using it, they will have no defects, or they will have a defect which is minor and which is already acknowledged by the product team, and maybe it is in the pipeline that for the fix. So when you know that, okay, there is already a fix coming for a defect, customer might not be like entirely disappointed, as they know that there's a plan, and we are always compliant to it, because we are continuously checking that we are nowhere missing any part of the code. So this is a few things about the quality assurance. Now I'm also going to talk about how do you ensure this quality assurance. Like for example, as I said, we will not have about 100% of defects, right? We will have about just 90% or something of the defect. Now, how do you ensure that those percentage of defect is going to be a valid defect, or good defect, right? Or the 10%, if you're ignoring it, right? If you're ignoring, just a second, just give me a moment. Yeah. So as I was saying, so how are we going to ensure is, in when we are going with any test automation, there is a factor, we should ensure that our test suits are built in such a way that our 20% of the suit covers 80% of the risk. That means you don't need to build a suit of some thousands of test cases or 2000 test cases. That's also a part of test maintenance, which Lavanya is going to cover in the later part, but I'm going to give a gist of it. We always need to have this 80-20 mechanism, meaning your 80% of the risk is covered with your 20% of the test suite, so that your maintenance is easier. When you already know what is your part of the test suite, automating it with any tool is going to be easy, and with AO Assure it's going to be very seamless. And using that 20%, you're going to learn how to maintain it, so that, as I said, right, there's a loop for it, so it doesn't stop. It's not like, okay, I have 100 of my test suite and I'm going to stop here. No, you will again, like, you might not test all the 100 test suits. You will have 50 of it. Now you'll have to learn how those 50 needs to be maintained, how those other parts of it needs to be maintained, right? So these are the few things which we'll have to always ensure, that we don't need to go for entire like, we need to understand very strategically how those risks are covered, how those functionalities are covered. We don't need thousands of test cases to ensure that my test suite is going great, or even you might have 5,000 test cases, but still your system might have defects, because we need to ensure that our risks are covered. We need to ensure that our functionality are weighted properly, they are weighted strategically. Okay, now let's learn what is this strategy which I was talking, right? How do we strategize it to enable our continuous quality assurance? I'll hand it over to Lavanya.
Thank you. Thanks, Asha. Thanks for that insightful talk on what continuous quality assurance is and the importance of continuous quality assurance. Now, moving on, what are the different strategies for enabling continuous quality assurance? Right. So it is when we talk about continuous quality assurance, it's the CI/CD that we talk about, and we have two things, which is the shift left and shift right. So shift left is nothing but where you actually plan, code, and build, and you start the continuous testing, right? So this is part of your shift left. And when you talk about shift right, we have the continuous testing in progress. Then we have the release, and it's more of the maintenance side. So that's where we see both shift left and shift right is. And why do we do shift left is, it is more like to evaluate the early development process, or often we do it before any code is written. Like, say, initially only you try to fix things if there's anything, if there's any bugs or things, you prepare it in the earlier stage and you make sure that it doesn't move to the production, right? So that's what we do as part of shift left. So how do you do it with Evo Azure? So Evo Azure, as you all know, it's a test automation platform with where we will be able to automate or quickly automate with no code. So it's a no code tool, and now we are slowly moving towards the low code as well. So we also support low code. So what we could do is effectively we can quickly build test automation while your development is in progress. So that is the in sprint automation feature that we have. And the next one is the Avo Genius. So Avo Genius, what we call it as, is a smart recorder where when you are manually performing the flow, it will be able to capture the actions and the process that you do and build a test automation script, maybe the draft version of your test script ready, and later you can parameterize it, you can link it to an Excel, or you can link the data from your database, and then you can enhance it further. But Genius will act like a first step to your what say the base start to your test automation basically. And in sprint is something where while your development is in progress, you actually make your test automation scripts ready, and once your development is done, you just map the objects and you keep it ready. So this too we consider as part of the shift left, which we do it in the earlier stage of your CI/CD pipeline. And moving on to the shift right, we have two options. One is the upgrade analyzer, and one more is the impact analysis. So this is more from the maintenance perspective. Now, say you have created a set of scripts, like say test automation is being completed for a set of processor of set of scenarios, and there is some changes with the application, like say the version got upgraded, or a simple example would be in your earlier version you had a text box for one of the field, and now it got upgraded to a drop down because of requirements from the customers. So in this cases you're maintaining that object might be used in various scripts. So how do you quickly change them and apply it to all your test scripts? So that is a tedious job if you have to do it manually, right? So here is what we offer: upgrade analyzer and impact analysis. So what it does is it will quickly compare the what say the objects that is captured previously versus that is present now, and it will give you a data to replace your objects. So upgrade analysis is more of a manual work where you have just one or two objects to be like say replaced or maintained. And impact analysis is like when you have a huge set of scenarios and it does it automatically for you. Like say it will compare the whole set of scenarios, and then it will give you where the changes are, what is that that's changed, what is that that's newly added, what is that's deleted, all those changes, and with a single click you will be able to update your whole automation suite. So this is on different strategies that we have. Moving on to the next, we will be seeing how these works in detail, right? So first, when we talk about in sprint automation, as you know, now we all follow the agile model, and we'll have the sprint for just 2 weeks, and where you have a crunch in time when you have to do the testing in process. So you may not able to test your product completely, right? So where there are chances of bug leakage or something like that which may get moved on to the production and which may cause a bigger impact, right? So what do we do here is, instead of not waiting for the whole development to complete, we rather start your automation as the development starts. Now there's a requirement from the customer to create a login page, suppose, and the developer starts to create a login page. So login page will usually have, like say, username, password button. You'll know what are the objects that will be present. So parallelly to the development, what we do as part of Evo Azure is we will start creating the objects, maybe a dummy objects or a model objects, saying this is okay, username is a text box, then I have a password which is a secure text that needs to be entered, then I have a button where I have to click to log into the page. So this you design it and keep your automation ready. So once the developer says the development is ready, what you all that you have to do is launch your actual application quickly. quickly identify the objects, the real time objects, and replace them with your dummy objects, and your test automation is done. You need not sit and write the whole test automation from the scratch, right? So that's what in sprint automation is. So where you will be able to create an element, use the same for the test, to the design, to design the test steps, then you build the entire scenario ahead. You build it before itself and keep it ready, and once your application is ready, you quickly map them, and then one you just do a test run, and then you finish your execution and your automation is completed. So that is the use or the purpose of in sprint automation. When we talk about shift left of continuous quality assurance, in sprint automation plays a very important role, I say. And moving on, we have Evo Genius. We have named it as Evo Genius here because it captures the user actions, and it creates a test case for you. So we have used some kind of what's say a mechanism to capture the tools, implement this Evo Genius feature. So where it's a smart recorder on the user action, it will say, like say I'm clicking on a button, then I'm clicking on a drop down, including the values that are being entered gets captured, and you get the test automation script created and ready for you for your use, right? This is on Evo Genius. So this acts like a, what say, a base to your automation, is what we can say. So it's like, instead of you doing it manually, capturing all the objects, what you do is you just navigate through the application. It captures and it gives you the flow. On top of that, what else can you do? You can build your script more dynamic. You can data parameterize it, like you can like say connect it to an Excel database, or a feature of Evo Azure that we have called as data table, which is uh, test data table that we have as part of Evo Azure platform. You can link it to either of these to fetch the data and make your script more dynamic, and this can also be reused across different scenarios later as well, right? So that is on Evo Genius. So moving on, we have upgrade analyzer and impact analysis, right? So what is the hardest part for a quality team or for any product? It's the maintenance part. So maintenance part is very hard for people to go through the scripts. Each one script their own way, and it's very difficult for us to reiterate and see what is there as part of your automation suite, what is not there. If there is some minor changes that impacts your whole lot of test automation, how do you quickly do it? We will be able to do it, but the time consumed might be more when you do it manually versus when you have something fancy and easy to do it with just a single click. You should be able to maintain your whole test suite. So what this is the change in the new constant with our applications changing constantly to cater the user need. So this is what is more effective, and that is where we specialize at, right? More on the maintenance front, because we feel that that's the hardest part. So what you can do, what it does is, by identifying the change and accommodating it quickly, we will be able to do the upgrade analysis and the impact analysis. So when we talk about upgrade analysis, what it does is, when you have some minor changes happen to your application, say there's a very, in just one screen there's some changes, not your whole application has been affected, where with some small modifications, it will be you should be able to correct your test scripts. So in that case, we can use or leverage the upgrade analyzer. How do we do upgrade analyzer is, we have two things in upgrade analyzer. One is the compare element, one more is the replace element. So what we do as part of compare is something, it will compare the existingly captured objects as part of your test object repository with the current UI or the current AUT, right? Application on the test, and give you what is that is being changed. If there are any changes, it will also suggest you could replace these elements, right? So that's what you can do as part of upgrade analysis. So to give it with an example, now say I have a text box that's been that I was being using it for, like say 2 3 regressions as part of a script. Now what has happened is there's some requirement to change the text box into a drop down, and in your current scenario it is a text box and not a drop down. So how quickly can you do it? What you can do is you can just go to the current AUT, compare what is that is being changed, and then with the help of replace element you can identify the new drop down and even change the operation that it needs to be performed. From, like say previously you were giving it as an input, now it's just the select value, right? Sorry. So you can also do that in the single screen, not getting into your test design, and with a single click, like say replace element, it will all get changed wherever you have used this uh, test design script. So we have a high reusability in Azure, where one screen, one object repository, or one test design can be reused across different test cases or scenarios. So in that case, if you update it in one test design, it will get updated elsewhere wherever it is being reused. So that's the functionality of upgrade analyzer. And moving on, we have the impact analysis. So this is a very this is a new and a strong feature that we have currently as part of our product, which is called the impact analysis, which enables you to compare the changes at the test suite level. So upgrade analyzer does it at the test step level, but here the impact analysis does it at the test suite level, where it will provide a well defined data about the changes, and it enables the mapping of the elements, and it gives you an hassle free update of these changes at the test steps level. So how this happens is, now say you have different modules created for your test for your continuous quality testing, and then you have something changed. Now with a single click, it will compare the whole test suite that you have. Like say if under a test suite you have, like say 30 40 scenarios, it will compare the whole 30 40 scenarios at just a click, and it will tell you what is that that's being changed, where is it being changed, what are the changes, how much percent is it being changed, what are the changed elements, what are the updated elements, or what are the added newly added elements and the deleted elements as part of these test suits. And what uh, it will also give you an option to change, if you, like say you have some new object that's been added, but it was not part of your previous regression, but you have it as part of this regression, you can quickly add that to your test case as well, right? So that can also be done. And once the impact analysis is being done, that impact analysis is being performed, you will also get a green tick mark uh, below your test designs, that the impact analysis has been performed and the impact is being corrected. So that's what we do as part of the impact analysis.
Okay.
So that's on different strategies for enabling continuous quality assurance using AVO Azure.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
now you guys have all heard, right? So to sum it up, now you know that the first and foremost thing in any product development or any product life cycle is going to be early development and early release to the market. So when we are saying it to that level, when you hear, right, CI/CD is like it's all known term. Like if you go and search, it just says okay, you are going to integrate your development with your testing. It just doesn't stop there. Okay, what? Okay, I have integrated, I have just used some tool. Every platform app, kind of provides a next level CI/CD. There is no platform, automation platform, that says we don't support CI/CD. Now what the difference that we bring here is shown here. Now if you see, just integrating it and executing it and monitoring it is not the end of your continuous quality assurance, right? You will obtain it only when you're the happening process. So you're integrating your quality. Now where is a break in the quality? How do you get the break in the quality? You will now know when you run your test suits, how will you run your test suits? Your test suits need to be updated, because you can't run a 6 months old test suit for a just updated software and expect it to be released in next week, because we
Right.
know for a fact that our test scripts are gonna break. Now when it breaks, we don't have to worry, there is a washer, as Lavanya was mentioning, right? If you see impact analysis, you don't have to go and change each and every component which has been changed. You can just update it. Now let's see, there is no change in the application element type of it. The text box has remained as text box, but still there is a small change in their
Hmm.
properties. You don't
Yes.
need to do anything. Just click, go to this upgrade analyzer, just update it, or go to this impact analysis, update it. We don't have to do lot of other things for it, right? So what we are today we wanted to convey is, just by integrating our a test automation platform to a test management platform might not help us achieve whatever is needed, that is, the shift left and the shift right. So you might see some applications or the platforms might enable shift left to you, or some might enable shift right to you. As we showcase, it's, if you can link each of our talks, it's like the shift left is achieved very easily by using our InSprint, or you can use our AO Genius, and then the shift right is easily achieved by using the combination. Now, if you combine everything together, not only your shift left is solid, but also your maintenance system. So this is what we wanted to convey to you, and we thank you for providing this opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Namrata?
Hi, Asha.
Yes, so we are done with our presentation. So I think we can now open for the questions.
Sure, sure, no problem. So,
Thank you.
hi guys, you can now, if you have any queries regarding the presentation, you can post your questions on the chat, and Asha and Lavanya will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you would like to talk something, I think Anil, we can enable that as well, right?
Yeah, if you want to talk, you can unmute yourself and you can talk and ask the questions directly with Asha and Lavanya.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
So we wait for 5 minutes.
Sure.
Sure.
Guys, any questions, any queries?
Yeah, hi, this is Murli here. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Murli, we can
Yeah,
hear
hi.
you.
So, yeah, the session was very informative. Okay, good thing. But I think what I was also looking at is basically the macro picture, because automation is only a part of the CI/CD. It is not the entire CI/CD pipeline, correct? It is a small part where our QA is trying to integrate the CI/CD such that whenever a new build occurs, then the automation is triggered automatically with various tools or whatever it is. So those sort of things probably maybe we can cover. It will help us actually basically how we were doing it, the integration of the automation suite with basically the CI/CD pipeline, because CI/CD pipeline is done by the DevOps, and we are an automation team ensuring quality assurance, correct? So
Right.
maybe there are a few questions. Probably I can maybe mail it to you, and then so that it
Yeah.
actually also maybe you can cover that next time. Maybe you can send me email ID, or you can just give a feedback. But I may not be able to put it everything here, because CI/CD is a very large thing, and automation
Exactly.
and QA of that is a very small thing which integrates with that CSC. So there are many other
Right.
things basically like which client expects, correct parallel runs, cross-browser testing, and then auto healing of scripts, intelligent automation. So many things
Right.
people have started talking about, correct? So maybe if you also maybe cover that sometime, it will be very good. Basically, how this your Evo or automation tool actually integrates with the CI/CD pipeline. So it is just my suggestion. Basically, we can maybe interact or whatever. Basically, I can send you some questions, and then we can look at it, like how it is different for product based, project based. So many different things are there, correct? I think. Anyway, this is some of my suggestions. Nice
Uh,
catching up with you guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you, Murli. So, to answer your questions, right, I think there were a couple of them, so I'll take one after the other.
Hmm.
So, the main agenda for us was not to show it as a product showcase, right, because we wanted our larger audience to know how not only that integration, right? Because if you go and search it out in external open source form, we will know CI/CD is a DevOps pipeline, everything. And as you said, there are a lot of the capabilities that our product offers as part of CI/CD, but we wanted to bring out another construct to it, which is like how test management or the test suite of automation, right? Whatever we build is crucial for us to achieve our CI/CD. That was our main, one of the main agenda. And also we wanted to highlight our key capabilities, not like every capability. So if you see this impact analysis or the Evo Genius, whatever we have briefed, it's our one of our flagship, I would say. It's our patented capability. We have AI included. So there are multiple things that are that we offer. As you said, yes, we do support integration with multiple softwares, with the development so test management software and then the build softwares. We do support that, and we have very hassle free the integration where you don't need to know our code or know this is the other platform's code, and then you also, we are also making an opportunity for as Lavanya mentioned in the intro, right, from low code to no code to low code, like we are giving us also a customization opportunity. Having said that, we can also discuss offline about our tool capability or platform capability, right? So you can write to us or you can write to our step in so that they can convey it to us. Either way is fine. But yes, we thank you that you found it insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Yeah.
adding on, Murli, whatever you asked about, like say how to integrate. So we do support Jenkins, Azure DevOps, Bamboo, and different CI/CD pipelines. And we have something called as configuration profile, where you need not write a list of response or the body, where we have summed it up, and you just need to give the URL and a token that we call it as to integrate with any CI/CD tool. Now that's been also upgraded to, we also provide code snippet, like say with curl command or different various scripting languages where you can integrate by them as well. So we are also in a pipeline of doing the integration for harness as well, right? And the browser stack we use, we have also done browser stack integration for the version controlling. So we also have that as part of the platform. And self-healing is also there. So we have something called as object properties. We captured about seven to eight properties of an object, where it will by default self-heal with one, or if one is failing, it'll try to figure out the next what say by the next property. So that's how we have come up with self-healing as well. And one more thing is, we also support cross-browser testing, and we elastic execution, which you spoke about, parallel execution. So we have something called as agent concept in Evo platform, where you have one agent installed as part of the machine, and you can create grids, like say you, how many parallel executions do you want to trigger, like 10, 11, 12, 20. And based on the grid that you create, your execution can be triggered from any of your CI/CD pipeline to here. And how do you integrate? We have a set of test suits or test cases as part of your Evo Azure, and you have something in development. You map those codes or those test cases from development to your Evo Azure, and once the execution is completed, it will send back your result to the CI/CD pipeline. So all this we have as part of the current tool capability.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to understand more because see, I'm looking at it from a client perspective. Correct?
Got
Client
it.
wants so
Okay,
many
okay.
things.
So we can talk more on
Basically,
that. Yes,
yeah,
you
yeah,
could always reach out to us. And we
yeah,
are
yeah.
very
No.
thankful that you asked such an insightful questions. I think others also were, helpful with that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Uh, Joydeep, you can take the question. You can unmute yourself now. Joydeep, if you are unable to speak, you can post your question on the chat.
No, Joydev, we can't hear you. If it's all right, could you please type in your question in the chat? Thank you. Okay. Okay, I can take this. Our AVO capability is instant automation, right? Combining the shift left concept that I explained and also Lavanya brief, right? I'm gonna repeat a little. It might sound repetitive. Apologies for that. So what happens, right? In our instant automation, we are going to first create a placeholder for our actual elements. We're gonna call it as a dummy or a proxy element, and that proxy element, what we are gonna do is we are using that we are going to design our test cases, like meaning we are going to make it like the entire suite that we are considering execution ready. All you need to do is we need to capture the actual element. For example, I'm just going to give an example. Let's say your development starts at the 0th day of the sprint, right? For example, of the first or the first day of the sprint one. Now, development will do their work. Automation team will also start building their automation scripts on the same day. They don't have to wait for their code to be available, system to be available, environment to be ready. Nothing. All we need to do is in on that screen or a page or whatever we are going to decide how many elements are there and how many elements do we need it for our test. Once we decide that, we're going to start doing it. Let's say the building of automation will take a week, and then this building of the software or the feature that we are talking here, it is also going to take a week. Now using that, right, now you have your the script also ready at the first week and also the code at the first week. Now once the code is ready, what we will do, we'll just map it with the actual element. As she said, we have we'll just capture the actual elements and then we'll just map it. If there's minor changes, we'll just do it. So we are shifting left, like our script will be ready with the moment the environment is ready. It should not take 100% effort, right? Because we've already spent our 80% effort in the early stages. So that's what we meant when we said we are replacing it. So when the elements are given to us, then we will replace. Okay, so now if you know the in any insprint agile mode, right, or any mode of, or maybe let's consider any of the software development, we will have certain requirements defined and we will also have certain features defined, and corresponding to those features, we will also have, for example, let's say I'm testing a login of an application. So if I have to test a login of an application, there will be certain things that is defined, right? I need to have my username, I need to have my password, and then there is an again a domain testing, that's the writing of our test cases, which is what is actually expected. So because if you see, the actual expected will not be written after the software is developed, we will write it before. For example, okay, if I write my username with 300 characters, it should stop me because my limit is 250. Those type of testing we will keep it ready to do it automatic via automation, and then once it is ready, we are going to map it. So this we are getting it from our functional requirements. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Amrita. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Okay, then thanks a lot for your session. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Murli.
Do you have any other questions or should we conclude the session? Shall I conclude then?
Yeah,
Yes, Namrata.
Amrita.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
sure. Thank you, Asha and Lavanya, for the presentation. And we thank all the attendees for your participation in the webinar. And I'm sure the presentation has been very helpful. If you have any other questions, you can write to us on conferences@stepinforum.org. I repeat, if you have any other questions, you can write to us on conferences@stepinforum.org. I think Anilji has put
I've,
it in the chat. Yeah.
yes, I've put it in the chat.
Thank you again for your time and have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Namrata. Thanks, Asha and Lavanya, for the wonderful session.
Thank you. Thanks,
I
Thank
hope
Anil.
you.
to
Thank you,
more such
everyone.
sessions from you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, sure. Happy to. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.